Before reasoning about why people resort to shouting during arguments, it's necessary to consider why they argue in the first place. There's no need to talk about ordinary quarrelers who make a mountain out of a molehill and immediately resort to shouting. But why do close people argue and shout? That's what one should think about. After all, wasn't it like this at the beginning of the relationship? Everything was peaceful, happiness was felt, and instead of shouting, one wanted to speak in whispers. And then the process of character adjustment begins. It becomes clear that not everything about our loved one pleases us, and some things start to irritate easily. At the same time, not many think that everyone enters relationships with already established habits. Sometimes it's very difficult to accept them. Although if you think about it, both parties have such habits, and before judging someone, it would be worth taking a close look at oneself. Everyone has emotions. This thing can bring us benefit or turn our lives into hell. Positive emotions, joy, happiness, fun, can even heal our body from ailments. Negative ones, anger, dissatisfaction, resentment, can mutilate not only the soul, but also worsen physical condition. But the problem is that few can control their emotions. Sometimes people simply try to bury all the negative feelings deep inside themselves, and this is the worst thing people can do, because they will still burst out someday, and until that happens, they will eat away at us from the inside. Some even try to get rid of them with the help of alcohol, drugs, or gambling. It's understandable that nothing good can come of this. Some parents constantly shout at their children for the slightest reason. It seems they do this because the child doesn't listen. But that's not entirely true. A child is just as much a person as an adult, and he is perfectly capable of understanding what is required of him. It's just that to convey your demand, you need to spend time explaining, and it needs to be done not just once. But if you just shout, it seems that this explanation will happen much faster. Thus, parents simply save their time, although they notice that their shouts have little effect. People should understand that an honest conversation with a close person is much more effective than shouting and arguing. It wouldn't even have to come to that if you explain to the other person what you are dissatisfied with in their behavior. Because many silently accumulate their dissatisfaction and then pour it out in arguments. And this gradually builds a wall between loved ones, which eventually may become insurmountable. Don't like that your spouse loves going fishing with friends. What if you remember that you don't want to miss an episode of your favorite series every day? Everyone should think that they also have preferences that others may not like. So why do we only notice this in others? Because of all these misunderstandings, people start arguments that they could easily avoid. And if they couldn't solve their problems calmly before that, they start raising their voices. They think that this way they will be better heard. But that's not true. If you have to shout to be understood, it means you have drifted so far apart that even shouting won't help. Don't let the situation get to that point.